college during an American literature class that I was taking. I didn't really get a good grade in the class, but I wrote this song.
I was going to read you a poem by William Butler Yeats, but you guys lucked up, and I can't find it. But the name of the poem is, well, I just found it, I'm sorry. And my preamble to this is, we're in an age right now where it's really hard to look forward and imagine that any time in history that we could be looking forward, that people could be looking forward with any less hope than what we have right now. And the truth is, there was a time in the history of the world, directly after World War I, when what had happened in World War I, we had always known just how cruel people could be to each other, but World War I taught us what could happen when that cruelty got melded with technology. 65,000 people could die on a battlefield in one day, and we gassed each other, and we shot at each other from 20-something miles away with bombs and threw incendiary bombs out of airplanes. And the artistic community was horrified by this. And and then William Butler Yeats envisioned a Catholic from Ireland that if Christ was ever going to make a second coming, that now was the time for it. And he wrote this poem called The Second Coming, and it was in no way is this the best poem written in the 20th century, but those of us who went into literature classes were often taught that it was one of the most important poems written. You will hear in here all kinds of language that has been taken out of this poem and put into our modern lexicon in literature and songs and poetry. Case in point, I'm going to follow with the song of that same ilk. This is The Second Coming. Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The sinner cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are those words out of my mouth when a vast image of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere in the sands of the desert, a shape with a lion's body and the head of a man moves, while all about it the shadows of indignant desert birds reel. And then the darkness drops again. But now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches now towards Bethlehem to be born. Gather round, people, now it won't be long. A hurricane will be blowing strong. The chance to rise will have come and gone. Slouching towards Bethlehem. What kind of beast comes slouching? What kind of beast comes slouching? What kind of beast comes slouching? Slouching towards Bethlehem. It's coming in the name of hunger, pulling all the poor folks under. Who is behind him, I wonder? Slouching towards Bethlehem. What kind of beast comes slouching? What kind of beast comes slouching? What kind of beast comes slouching? Slouching towards Bethlehem. It's coming in the name of finance, corporations, religion, and violence. It's counting on collusion and slouching towards Bethlehem. What kind of beast comes slouching? What kind of beast comes slouching? What kind of beast comes slouching? Slouching towards Bethlehem. Better lay your shoulder to the wheel, rise up high, top of the hill. Blow your horn even louder still. Slouching towards Bethlehem. What kind of beast comes slouching? What kind of beast comes slouching? What kind of beast comes slouching? Slouching towards Bethlehem. What kind of beast comes slouching? What kind of beast comes slouching? What kind of beast comes slouching? Slouching towards Bethlehem. Slouching towards Bethlehem. That's an Eliza Gilkinson song. I believe she wrote that in 2003.
My second album called Baltic Street Hotel. High beams lit the shot out all the lights. Something someone said just isn't sitting right. Maybe someone's not exactly who you thought they were. Won't be the last time, and you know it's not the first. They can't take your love away, take your love away. It's only you who knows what to do. It's running through your veins. Truth echoes like a drum, voices of the angels hum. They're gonna sing you home. You're not alone, kid on the radio. Yeah, truth echoes like a drum, voices of the angels hum. They're gonna sing you home. You're not alone, kid on the radio. You're not alone, kid on the radio. 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 Kid on the radio.
I am from Florida, but I left Florida in 1995. I moved to a little island off the coast of Nicaragua called Little Corn Island. It's out in the Caribbean. I was the first foreigner to ever live there. I installed the first flushing toilet on Little Corn Island. Yeah. And I was there for 11 years, and I ended up building this little hotel, had a little dive shop. I had never sang into a microphone, and then I moved back here and got into this music thing. But while I was there, they call Little Corn Island Little Island. They don't ever refer to it as Little Corn Island. They just call it Little Island because there's a bigger island next to it called Big Corn Island. So they call it Little Island. And when I got back, while I was down there, I was with a woman, and everything was kind of cool. And then we had to change the venue, and when we had to change the venue, it didn't hold up anymore, and so it came apart. But I had that was I moved back in 2006, and our thing came apart in around 2014. And I wrote this song for her. It's called Little Island. Found a photo yesterday, the bottom of her drawer. It was you years ago on Little Island. A short flowered dress and a little floppy hat. Couldn't tell, but maybe you were smiling. Photo, you were standing on a cliff above the ocean and pointing towards a ship on the horizon. And the message therein was your ship was coming. I think that's what you thought on Little Island. I went back to Little Island at the end of last year. The people there, they asked me all about you. I lied and said that we were still friends. I'd rather told the truth but didn't know how. Went up to the hotel and I stared into the very well I dug in 1998, and I could see your reflection water at the bottom. For a minute there I almost said your name. Yes, I almost called out your name. Santino vive, la lucha sigue, no me conviene lo que pasó. This is no apology, been thinking about the days, those days long ago. On Little Island, there were no Indians sleeping and catboats in the harbor, no lobster being hauled up from the sea. No turtles being slaughtered, no cocaine being bartered, just tourists in the new shops and cafes. I tell you it was strange, the whole damn scene, like living in some kind of dream. The echoes were everywhere, that same mystery in the air. Some things haven't changed on Little Island. Some things remain the same on Little Island. Santino vive, la lucha sigue, no me conviene lo que pasó. This is no apology, been thinking about the days, those days long ago. On Little Island, I remember the day we took a freight boat to the Main. On the aft deck in a hammock in the shade, a little bird flew in, ate breadcrumbs from your hand, and the people were all amazed. Ah, but gee, I guess I knew your spirit through and through was more connected to that bird than men like me. The bird flew away, I saw tears on your face. I watched as they fell into the sea. Yeah, your tears, they returned to the sea. Candino vive, la lucha sigue, no me conviene lo que pasó. This is no apology, been thinking about the days, those days long ago. On Little Island, that little house I built had fallen into ruin. Whatever we buried's been lost. Forgotten but familiar, understood but still peculiar. It all kind of added up to naught. And I'm walking among the graves where we buried our dogs, beneath the trees where the hammocks had swung. I'm only writing to you now to make sense of it somehow. Try to figure out what went down on Little Island. Can't explain what took place on Little Island. Santino vive, la lucha sigue, no me conviene lo que pasó. This is no apology, been thinking about the days, those days long ago. On Little Island, on Little Island, on Little Island.
I'll stop the cold, freezing you up. I'll stop the rain, falls from above. Be the umbrella that rests upon your shoulder, and I'll win you over. I'll be the long lost treasure see the cracks. Gave it away that time I made you laugh. I'm your lucky day, I'm your four-leaf clover, and I'll win you over. And I won't even have to try to get what money doesn't buy. Come on, stand a little bit closer while I win you over. Yeah, come on, stand a little bit closer while I win you over. While I win you over.
That's a beautiful song. When it first came out, it was called The Road. I don't know if anybody here read it, but it put a real dent in me. In fact, I was very reticent to even read anything else by him, but I did, and I continued on and read almost everything he had written. And The Road was a real outlier from McCarthy. It was a futuristic book. I don't know if you've read it or you've seen the movie. It was futuristic, apocalyptic, and his other books were very they were Western kind of oriented, Texas, very Texas, a lot of Texas things. Anyhow, I about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I set upon to finish up the books I had never read of his, one being Blood Meridian, which I don't recommend anybody read. And yeah, I read that, and I went back and just decided to reread everything. And I made The Road the last one because, and after I read it, I realized that it was not as a gruesome and book as I had thought it was. And even though it was apocalyptic, there was a measure of hope in it, and it was the kind of hope that I thought was a real important kind of hope for us to have now. And so I wrote a song called Fire, and Fire is the allegory, which is the central allegory to the book. And but I had to throw in there the fire for Cormac McCarthy because every verse has a line that I lifted from the book as well as the chorus. The fire for Cormac McCarthy. Carry the fire and hold the light up as the children pass. Say a prayer for all the souls lost along the way. That road is long and it is dark, but we cannot delay. There ain't no telling just how long these troubles will last. There is no God, we are his prophets. Lo and behold the hand that lifts that flame yet high. That torch is ours, it bears our name, you must not drop it. There is no one else, carry the fire. From the ashes of ruin, the ghosts will one day sing their songs with no fanfare, many fiddles or no drums. And each refrain will rhyme with how our world's been deadly wrong. Once the smoke has cleared, you'll see the damage done. There is no God, we are his our past is real, and every step we take from now on will be forever. There's no turning back for a fresh deck and new deal. There is no God, we are His prophets. Oh, and behold the hand that lifts that flame yet high. That torch is ours, it bears our name, you must not drop it. There is no one else to carry the fire. That torch is ours, it bears our name, you must not drop it.
Place where the planet stops spinning. Me in the space between the days we've been living. The moon watches up above. Trees they whisper down at us. There's no direction and there is no X on the map. Don't know how I get here, but I always find my way back to the clearing. Crows they talk, telling stories in the dark. Lizards on the wall, they crawl back towards the stars. And I light my cigarette, wait to see your face again. There's no direction and there is no X on the map. Don't know how I get here, but I always find my way back to the clearing. Midnight, hear it ringing like a bell. Did we find it, or did we make it ourselves?
This is the song that should have been in the movie. Well, it was early spring. I slipped St. Louis, searching for higher ground. I rode southwest toward the new territories, made a circle round every town. Tied out sleeping in old fun fields, the stars would watch over me. With a stone for my pillow and a finger on the trigger, I considered what it meant to be free. tree and I walked up to the front porch. The voice called out, said, "It's all right, just kick your boots off, please." I found a woman in there, she was strapped to a chair. I could tell she'd been waiting on me, and that kind of woman. I say that's the kind of woman I've been looking for all my life. There was black tea and biscuits in a candlelit parlor. A fire crackled in her stove. I sat on her sofa. She come a little closer. I felt something rise in my bones. She read me some poetry, bloodstained pages, a book from her highest shelf. Then she led me by the hand to the promised land and introduced me to myself, that kind of woman. I say that's the kind of woman I've been looking for all my life. But we fell fast asleep on her bed of nails. I woke up when the cock crowed twice, and I poked at the embers in her coal fire box, and things started to warm up nice. She was still half asleep when I told her my dream. I was a serpent that taught me to fly. And then she made me roll her over, put my hands on her shoulders, give her something to remember me by, that kind of woman. I say that's the kind of woman I've been looking for all my life. She was wrapped up in a blanket. She made a pot of coffee and helped me get my boots back on. She pulled the corn out of the air and she slipped it in my pocket, and I walked out the door alone. And she was watching from the kitchen as I saddled my pony. From the window she blew me a kiss, and I was well on my way. I had ridden all day before I felt it hit my lips, that kind of woman. I say that's the kind of woman I've been looking for all my life. Well, I made my way out to Santa Fe. I took a year to start my life anew. The sleepless nights, they kind of wore me down, but I knew what I had to do. It was a 6-week ride to that riverside. The hopes that the pain would be lifted, and I searched everywhere. The woman wasn't there, it was like she never existed, and that kind of woman. I say that's the kind of woman I've been looking for all my life. Yes, now that's the kind of woman I'll be searching for the rest of my life.
I want to live in the back of your mind. Don't have to think about me all the time, but when you do, I just hope that you smile. Just want to live in the back of your mind. Fold up a chair and I lit you a fire. Let it be the spark that keeps you inspired. You may not know from where comes the with a bottle of wine. Just want to live in the like an old radio turning low, like something you feel but you may not know. I'll stand backstage, but I won't steal the show. Like an old radio turning low. I wish I had the key, I would be there tonight. Quiet as the moonbeam, steady as the tide, drifting through your dreams with a bottle of wine. Just want to live in the back. Yeah, just want to live in the
See if I can pull it off. If I could mean anything, anything to you, I would thread myself through the eye of your needle, and I would open my veins, bleed into your empty cup. If I could mean anything to you, if I could understand what it is you need me to be, I'd wear that mask till I run out of time. Can't you see I'm a simple man? I can't unravel your clues, and all I know is I can't live without you. It's waiting at the foot of your winding stairs, aching for a glimpse of what goes on up there. Mistaken, hell, I just might be, hoping that one day that you might see. If I could mean anything, anything to you, yes, I'd thread myself through the eye of your needle, and I would open my veins, bleed into your empty cup. If I could mean anything, anything to you. If we had learned to live our lives like a little bird builds her nest, given to a greener cause, taken a few smaller steps, and maybe I'd have been the one to finally give you just enough to satisfy your deepest need, overflow your empty cup. Waking at the foot of your winding stairs, and shaken by a glimpse of what goes on up there. Well, hell, I just might be, hoping that one day that you might see. If I could mean anything, anything to you, that I would thread myself through the eye of your needle, and I would open my vein, bleed into your empty cup. If I could mean anything to you, if I could mean anything to you.
It's a song about bad behavior. Somebody in Nashville told me this is a weird song, and I said, that's okay, because I'm a weird person. So. Please don't tell me how to feel. At least I'm honest, at least I'm real. Though I never waste your precious time, make you read between the lines. Walk on the wire.
if you're growing up in Tallahassee, Florida, the 3 institutions you become familiar with, and the first one is Florida, what we used to call Rayford, now called Florida State Prison. And the other one is the Mariana School for Boys, which if you end up there, as a bad juvenile, you'll end up in the state institution. And the other was Chattahoochee State Mental Hospital, which is where every child in Tallahassee, when I was growing up, was told their mother was going to go if they didn't behave. And but I was coming up on I-75, and I was near Florida State Prison. I was in Gainesville, Florida, and I heard a radio broadcast about something that was happening that day at Florida State Prison. And I pulled over and wrote this. I heard about the hanging this morning, and I rode on into town. There were gallows nailed up on the square, and a big crowd had gathered all around, selling postcards and cotton candy, crucifixes, American flags. I seen a woman, she wept at the gallows steps. She held a little bird in her hand, and she said,
I'm not crying for him. I don't even know his name. What he done was a sin against God, to be reckoned come judgment day. I'm crying for what we've become, still burning flesh to dust. I'm not crying for him, I'm crying about us.
well, the prisoner climbed the gallows steps. You could feel excitement in the crowd as that noose got lowered down over his head, and his face was covered with a shroud. And that woman held her little bird to her breast as the order rang loud and clear. And I heard a crack as they snapped his neck, and the crowd let out a cheer. And she said,
I'm not crying for him. No, I don't even know his name. What he done was a sin against God, to be reckoned on judgment day. Crying for what we've become, still burning flesh to dust. I'm not crying over him, crying about us.
well, the prisoner climbed the gallows steps. You could feel the excitement in the air. I've already done this. Hang on. He's already been killed, and so he's already been killed. Here's what he got. Well, they cut him down and they hauled him off. And the people, they all gone home. The wind blew trash through that empty street where that woman, she stood all alone. Then she knelt down on the gallows steps, and she bowed her head to pray. Then she raised her hands above her head, let that little bird fly away. And she said, I'm not crying for him, and I don't even know his name. What he done was a sin against song that last song was a I-75 song. This is a Alligator Alley song, if you're familiar with that stretch of road that runs across the Everglades. I was out there 30 years ago and I had a little bit of a epiphany. I was driving across the Everglades the other day, and I had the AM radio on, and I was listening to some old Havana tunes. Back in the day when the Casablanca fans twirled in the thick cigar smoke at the Tropicana, and there were dark men dressed in white suits, played dominoes in the shade along the Malecon. There was an angry black cloud falling in the western sky, and I smelled the wet dog smell of a coming rain. I seen the lightning bolts flame. I heard the whistle of the wind, I could feel its power. I heard the rumble of the thunder as my hands gripped hold of the wheel. I've seen a red-tailed hawk rise from the bank of the canal that ran along the side of the road. And he circled beneath that black cloud in a picture frame of lightning bolts. And then, well, he dropped something. Then he rose like a kite without a string, the heavens above. There was a woman named Carmen de la Guerra, and she was singing a song called El Dolor de Mi Amor. And it sounded so sad, and I could feel the tremendous sense of loss that weighed on her every word. And it hit me hard, and it hit me deep. And I turned on the wipers as her tears hit my window shield. Way out here, beneath the rain of Carmen's tears, where creation seems so vast, so far away from the love we could not save. Memories flooding from my past. I don't know why I get so sentimental, but maybe that song and that hawk and that storm were all just coincidental. Yeah, the rain come down so hard I could hardly see. So I pulled over at the reservation and I parked the car beside an open thatched hut. And there was a Seminole woman sitting there quietly. She was watching that storm as though she was a movie. Well, I killed the motor, but the radio kept playing on. Then my mind fogged up, the rain was pounding on the hood. I knew what to do, I just didn't know I could. And I wept like a child while Carmen kept singing her song. Way out here in the middle of nowhere, everything I buried, it's falling from the sky. Everything I feared, it's like everything I held so dear. It's washed away by tears from Carmen's eyes. I don't know how much time went by before that storm passed overhead and opened up the sky to a big red sun bright as any that I'd ever seen. was as though I had awakened from a dream and everything had changed. And I kept hearing echoes to the words of that song that I'd heard Carmen sing. And for the first time since you left, I really realized that you were gone. We out here beneath the rain of Carmen's tears, where creation seems so vast, so far away from the love we could not save. Memories flooding from my past. We out here in the middle of nowhere. Everything I buried, it's falling from the sky. And everything I fear, it's like everything I held so dear, it's washed away like tears from Carmen's eyes, Carmen's eyes.
Nashville, and there's this honky-tonk that was near my old house called the Nashville Palace, and it's actually a very established music venue with a lot of great bands who play there and stuff. And I used to go in there after work for some beers, and I guess I kind of made a habit out of it. I would go there every night after work, and somebody jokingly called me the Queen of the Nashville Palace. And I was like, that sounds like a song about this character. Maybe not unlike myself, but this is called Queen of the Nashville Palace.
She had to close her eyes to see nobody else she'd rather be. Her religion
Dear Sadie, well, I'm gonna tell you about the family, Tallahassee, Mississippi. That's the dirt that you come from. Your ancestors, well, they were hardy. They were rugged and strong-willed. They stole a continent from another people. Some are plundering it still. Dear Sadie, well, I hate to be the one to tell you that there are traitors in your bloodlines who took up arms against our nation. They attacked the Constitution, had their asses handed to them. Dear Sadie, this is the past we can't forget. Aside from burnt shit on some monument, being white is fraught with privilege. I hope your eyes are never blinded to this truth. I hope your heart is put to its fullest use, and that you grow up to love others as one should love one's only brother. Dear Sadie, there's just two kinds of people in this world, little girl. Yes, and both of them are in you. The two are right there inside you. And you become which of the two you choose to be. And this is just part of what I'd hoped I'd have the chance to try to teach you. That and how to sharpen all the words, sing a ringing Dylan verse, read some Mary Oliver, play a key chord on guitar. I'd hope to try, but I'm afraid we'll miss that ride. Dear Sadie, well, I know now you'll never know me, but when you grow up, ask your daddy. You can ask him what I stood for, and let him tell you what I stood for. Dear Sadie,
Over and Out. It's on my second album called Baltic Street Hotel. Hey, are you okay? I've been calling all night, thinking about you all day, and I didn't mean to hurt you when I said those things in that way. Don't you know that I'm only human? I'm only doing things the best way I know how, trying to figure it out. Don't give up on me now. Oh, building a spaceship, gonna go to the moon, run away to Mars. Am gonna have to chase you through an asteroid field there in the stars? Don't you know that I'm only human? I'm only doing things the best way I know how, trying to figure it out. Don't give up on me now. Oh, over and don't you know that I'm only human? I'm only doing things the best way I know how, trying to figure it out. Don't give up on me now. Over now. Over and down. Over and down. Hey, you okay? I've been calling all night, thinking about you all day. Very much. My name's Sophie Gault.
So I have to do this thing at all of my shows now. Are you concerned about the future of our country? Yeah. Of course you are. Do you see conservative, Christian, right-wing, straight white American males embracing autocracy, totalitarianism, and fascism as they lay the free reins of democracy into the hands of billionaire oligarchs? Of course you see this. But maybe you've grown tired and weary of the fight against tyranny. Maybe the weight of the struggle has got you down and you're just not feeling that zest of energy that once fueled your progressive ideology and spiritual sense of justice. If so, fear not. Just brew you up a cup of Grant Peeples anti-fascist coffee. This coffee fights fascism, and it says so right there on the bag. Yeah, just 4 or 5 cups of this dark Nicaraguan brew will get you energized and back on track in the fight against Obama-hating, gay-bashing, black-fearing, tree-killing, soul-saving, flag-waving, fox-loving, land-paving, shout out to Todd Snyder, believers in fascism. So pick up a bag of Grant Peeples anti-fascist coffee on sale here tonight and continue in the fight for the ideals and principles upon which our republic is founded. Thank you.
Really good.
You get a bag, so you're good. Thank y'all again for Bob Sokol. Thank you for being here. I've made 5 records in Austin, and Bob housed me through all 5 of those records. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gurf, again for doing our sound.
Thanks, Gurf.
I'm going to finish up with a song that I did not write, and I'm going to start it off with a poem I did not write. This is you heard me reference Mary Oliver earlier in a song maybe. This is called Of the Empire by Mary Oliver. We will be known as a culture that feared death and adored power, that tried to vanquish insecurity for the few, and that cared little for the penury of the many. We will be known as a culture that taught and rewarded the amassing of things, that spoke little, if at all, about the quality of life for people, other people, for dogs, for rivers. All of the world in our eyes, they will say, was a commodity. And they will say that this structure was held together politically, which it was. And they will say also that our politics was no more than an apparatus to accommodate the feelings of the heart. And that the heart in those days was small, and it was hard, and it was full of meanness. Sackcloth and ashes underneath the thigh of the hand. That's 150 lashes. It's way more than any man could stand. And if you keep silent in a time such as this, accept the ways of gain by violence, you are taken, you're accepting the risk. Sins of the fathers that fall upon the sons and daughters. I can hear King David calling, oh Absalom. Sins of the fathers fall upon the sons and daughters. Here we are 3,000 years later with the worst yet to come. A day of darkness, black clouds across this land. The nation up and plays the harlot. The waters don't flow on your desert sand. So turn back the pages to the times you hold so dear, and you will see down through the ages the message written, the lesson given is clear. The sins of the fathers, they fall upon the sons and daughters. But I can hear King David calling, oh Absalom. Sins of the fathers, they fall upon the sons and daughters. Here we are 3,000 years later with the worst yet to come. Strike the tent, slaughter the lamb, cross the river to another land, its holy ground, but there's blood all on it, and killing is killing no matter what you call it. Sins of the fathers fall upon the sons and daughters. But I can hear King David calling, oh Absalom. The sins of the fathers, they fall upon the sons and daughters. Here we are 3,000 years later with the worst yet to come. So if you keep silent in a time such as this, accept the ways of gain by violence, you are taken, you're accepting the risk. Thank you.